Hello, everyone. It's October 31st. Happy Halloween, even though we just celebrated the weekend. It is technically tomorrow. So whenever you're listening to this, happy Halloween and farewell. You might be noticing my neck tattoo here. It is not real. It is a leftover from my vampire costume remnants. I got a couple scares from work. Got my mom really scared on that one. How are you doing, Juan? How was your Halloween weekend?
Dude, it was great, man. You know, spooky season, it's always fun here in Miami. I'll definitely say when I first saw the tattoo on you, I was a little bit concerned. If I had that one, I definitely would be telling people it's just like, yo, man, yeah, I got into a fight, but you should see the other guy. It's a good look, man. It's a good look for you. But no, no,
Gets into
no.
fight, gets into fight, gets tattoo on neck.
Nah, man, in all seriousness, solid weekend. I mean, Gators played against the Bulldogs. We got absolutely whomped. We got destroyed. Can't say I'm really surprised. They gave me a little bit of hope. Graham Mertz had a touchdown early in the game, but, Georgia Bulldogs essentially killed us, just like the Georgia Eagles essentially killed the Dolphins last week. But other than that, man, doing good, doing good. What about you, man? How was your weekend? How you feeling?
It was fun. It was it was a busy weekend, and Mondays after busy weekends are they're rough. Both of us had some long days today, but we're here. We're here for the spectators, Sports Spectator Nation. And happy to be here. And I have an exciting announcement for everybody that might be interested, especially if you're in the South Florida area, especially if you're in the Miami area. Sports Spectator, we're going to be doing a watch party December 17th for the Miami Dolphins New York Jets game. It's going to be in Wynwood. We're going to announce the location a little bit when it's finalized, but it's going to be our first hosted event. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be there. We're going to have a bunch of our friends there. We hope we get all of our Sports Spectator friends on here. Miami sports, whatever sports, we're going to have NFL Red Zone going. We're going to have who knows what else we're going to have. We're not going to make it official yet, but the date is official. And I can't wait to share more with you guys. And mark on your calendars, December 17th.
Super hyped. Our official first event here, like John said, December 17th. Mark your calendars. If you're going Christmas shopping that weekend, don't. Definitely plan to be there Sunday. We'll be there with the best takes. We'll probably come in there with a couple of picks for you guys to bet on while you're there. Red Zone will be running. Super exciting stuff.
On another note, we have more exciting stuff. Lionel Messi wins his 8th Ballon d'Or. I made a couple TikToks on earlier about this, and I called it Ballon d'Or. I got a lot of hate mail. Ballon d'Or, and for all my our French watchers, the greatest of all time. It was kind of known that he was going to win this award, but it's official now. 3 more than Cristiano Ronaldo. The first ever in MLS history. Lionel Messi in Miami. I mean, it seems like no one's really surprised. Like, this is like a huge, one of the biggest awards in soccer ever, and it's really kind of like just normal day for Miami fans and Messi fans, Argentina fans all over the world. He beat out Erling Haaland, who is a record-breaking striker this season in the English Premier League. If Lionel Messi didn't win the World Cup, it would have been his trophy, but unlucky for Erling. He had the greatest storyline ever, one of his last World Cups, probably his last, and he won it in historical fashion, one of the best soccer games ever played in that final versus France. And so the Messi saga for this season has officially ended in the best way possible with the Ballon d'Or, the award given to the best player in the world. It's done. It's over. Now we're officially ready to move over to the next season. What do you think about that one?
Dude, what do I think? I think Messi officially cemented his status as the GOAT, man. I mean, is there any arguing at this point? I don't know who else has a take as opposed to that. I mean, 8? That's ridiculous. That's one more Super Bowl. That's one more than Tom Brady has Super Bowl rings. I mean, this guy could literally represent one. I'm going to butcher the name as well. Ballon d'Or. Whatever. Butcher me, Spectator Nation. It is what it is. I'll take the hate. He literally could rep one for every single day of the calendar week and still have one left over for like Passover or Sunday. I don't know, man. I just don't think it gets any more elite than that. And I mean, I've always been full transparency on the podcast. I'm not going to pretend to be a football expert here as much as I am a football and basketball. But I mean, the numbers don't lie. The ball don't lie. Ballon d'Or don't lie. And I feel like when you have 8, it's hard to really kind of argue anything against that. shout out to Messi, obviously, future Miami Hall of Fame, first ballot inductee. Shout out to Argentina. Good for you guys. You guys had a big year this past year, World Cup, Ballon d'Or, yet again. So shout out to them. But in all seriousness, super happy for the Miami community, Messi, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. There are arguments for Ronaldo. People do have them. People are very passionate about them. Long story short, they think he is the more elite athlete because he was in more difficult situations as a player and where he had to play in the field and whatnot. But exactly, the Ballon don't lie. So on that note,
Ball
how
don't
about you
lie.
take us? Yeah, how about you take us into these other sports right now?
Oh, yeah, man. So much to talk about. Holy cow. It is, we mentioned it a couple of times on the pod. October, just absolutely insane with so much going on. Just to recap, Spectator Nation, Heat basketball officially in full swing. In fact, currently we are playing the Bucks. Even got to check on the score. Looks like right now it is 28-28, funny enough, against the Milwaukee Bucks. Thomas Bryant, 8 points. Jimmy Butler, 9 points. Tyler Hero, 6 points. Let's go ahead and check. How's Damian Lillard doing? Only 5 points. Very suspicious. And that's me doing my best to pretend I'm not upset that we didn't get Damian Lillard. I absolutely wish that we did. Not to get into too much Milwaukee Bucks basketball, but he did score 39 points last week. I'm going to be honest. I saw that. And it was like watching an ex-girlfriend get really, really hot. It's the same way that I felt, just watching him put up that stat line because I'm just like, why couldn't that been us? And I'll never forgive Joe Cronin, general manager of the Portland Trail Blazers, what he did to Miami. I don't know what Pat Riley ever did to the guy, to be quite honest with you, where he just went on this vendetta. But I'm upset that we didn't get the guy. And that is why it makes me so much happier that he is having what seems to be so far a fairly mediocre game against Miami. And it seems to be that Miami, in fact, is playing really, really good. But again, that is a current take. I'll have more on that game probably on next week's podcast. But let's go and talk about some games that did happen, John. So we have already finished 3 games this season. And right now we're sitting at 1-2. And a lot of Heat fans are asking, are the Miami Heat washed? And I would answer those fans. You guys obviously did not watch last season. You don't know ball. You don't know Ballon d'Or because Ballon d'Or don't lie. But no, the Heat, funny enough, started 1-2 also last season. And what did they do last season, John? They made it all the way to the what?
Finals,
The
baby.
finals, baby. So statistically speaking, we have the same record right now this season. Therefore, we will be going to the finals. I can't believe it. Eric Spoelstra, greatest coach in the world, taking us to the finals yet again. You absolutely love to see it. But in all seriousness, again, we beat the Pistons. I was at that game. First and foremost, Kaseya Center, which is what that's the government name now, but we will always call it the AAA American Airlines Arena. Electrifying, as always. I actually went with a coworker of mine. He is originally from Indiana, was in town for some work. But he lives in Indiana, and he was just shocked. I remember at halftime, we went out to the patio. There was like dancers, and he was just like, "Dude, all we do in Indiana is just like eat corn dogs at halftime." So this is awesome. Kaseya Center, still ridiculous, still awesome. We will be there for plenty of more games. We'll try to announce them on the podcast. So if you're there, come say what's up. Super, super fun. But actually, a couple of takeaways from this game. First and foremost, Duncan Robinson, an absolute threat in all facets of the game. Duncan Robinson, good friend of the podcast, as we all know.
Great
He's
cocktail maker.
Yeah, great cocktail maker, and also great. I was trying to think of something clever to put in like cocktail and shot, but a shot. He is good at pouring
Great shot
shots
taker.
and making shots. Yeah, man, absolutely ridiculous. He's looking elite. Offense, defense. He's going in the paint. He's not just depending on his 3-point shot. I couldn't be prouder of the guy. He looks really, really good. Second takeaway from that game, Bam Adebayo officially has a jump shot. And we didn't just see it in that particular game. We also saw it against the Timberwolves, and we also saw it against the Boston Celtics. A lot of people always criticize Bam. He was a big center, so all he could really do was play in the paint. He was always good at rebounds, but it was his jumper that really stopped him from being elite. So now that we're seeing that, the guy is a lot more elite. And lastly, probably my favorite takeaway from watching the Heat so far is Jaime Jaquez Jr., aka Triple J, aka Mexican Jimmy Butler. The guy is as advertised. The guy is an absolute sensation, just a point machine, assist machine, defense machine. I mean, and technically he has only played 3 games officially in the NBA. So I'm super excited for the guy. And I mean, we still got plenty of basketball left, obviously only 3 games into the season. So I'm feeling good, man. I don't know if I'm ready to say that, we're going to be making a deep playoff run quite just yet, but I'm excited, man. What do you think, John? I mean, you saw the preseason, your best boys with Duncan. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I agree with everything you said. And I did the same thing today, actually. I was looking up last season's start to the season, and I don't think the Heat had an above 500 record until like at least 10 games into the season. So they started out slow last season as well. I love the you call him the Mexican Jimmy Butler.
Mexican Jimmy Butler. That's him.
He's got that Heat culture defense. I'm all in. I love the Tyler Harrow revenge season coming up. Duncan Robinson over 300 threes this season. So I'm still all in. I can't wait to go to another like real season game. So you're saying is the move to go to the patio during halftime and just turn up and then come back to your seats? Is that the move?
That seems to be the move, man. And I actually have some insider information, but my understanding is that the arena will actually be releasing a special ticket that gets you entrance, general admission into the game. But apparently it also gives you unlimited food and drink at that 601 bar that they have in that patio area, which is absolutely insane, bro. So like that patio area is going to be the place to be at these games.
Dude, let's book a Friday night game and go.
Not fully confirmed, that it's just what I'm hearing, word on the street, in that what the Kaseya Center will be doing. But man, if they implement that,
maybe they can give us a Sports Spectator deal where if maybe they don't do it for everyone, but hey, we'll be there. We'll give you guys some content.
No. We'll give them a deal by being there, not the other way around. Like they will be fortunate to have us being there commenting on it. No, absolutely. The patio area. Actually, big day for me when I got in the patio area. Officially caught my first T-shirt that they threw into the audience. Had never had one before at a Heat game.
Wow, what kind of shirt was it?
So it was actually a white shirt, and it says something along the lines of like, I partied in the patio at the Heat game. Something really, really corny. But bro, you should have seen me. The guy threw it, and I went literally Odell style, like just stuck my hand like this. So, and it grazed my hand. All right. I didn't fully catch it. It fell. Dude. And I was like a quarterback who just like fumbled the football and knew my job was on the line. I just went, I dove for it. I got it. But yeah, man, big.
That's dude, that's awesome. I mean, I would wear that shirt with so much pride.
So much.
That's awesome. Was anyone there like trying to get it from you on the ground, or was everyone like, okay, this guy won?
Oh no, dude. As soon as I like leaned down to grab it, everyone was just like, all right, man, it's not that serious. It's just a Hanes T-shirt with a graphic printed on it.
It is that serious.
Like, you can have it though. But no. Huge day, not just for myself, but also for the Heat. I mean, check on the score one more time before we move on from the Heat. How are we doing? Okay, it's just the end of the first. All right, Milwaukee up 35-28. Doesn't matter. I'm not watching the score anymore. I'm pretty confident that we will come back. Shout out Damian Lillard. Not doing that good. The Heat obviously doing pretty good. And by the way, guys, a lot of people are criticizing Jimmy Butler because, during the start of the season, he's a little slow, but we're right on schedule. He does this every single year, guys. Regular season games do not matter to this guy. He is the most unserious basketball player when it comes to the regular season. Just wait till the halfway point of the season and definitely wait till the playoffs. And that's when we see Michael Jordan 2.0. So all the haters out there, again, we are right on pace.
Amen.
Yeah, man. But Heat basketball obviously just getting back. So we will be talking a lot more about that as the season progresses. So I'll conclude by saying we're 1-2. Whatever happens tonight doesn't matter. We are still on pace to make the finals. Shout out Eric Spoelstra, greatest coach of all time. All right, man. Let's go ahead and talk about Dolphins New England 31-17. The biggest takeaway from this match, first and foremost, Tua Uno QB1 officially now 6-0 against the spread whenever he plays Bill Belichick's Patriots. John, how insane of a stat is that? That he's now officially played the Super Bowl, 6-time winning Super Bowl New England Patriots, and Bill Belichick cannot beat Tua.
Are you over or under Bill Belichick ulcers caused by Tua and the Dolphins?
Over. I'm
More than one ulcer.
I'm smashing the over. Tua will be 6-0 against the spread and 6-0 against the Patriots, and he will also be 1-0 against Bill Belichick's ulcers. Dude, that's just so unreal. I mean, like, Tua owns the entire region of New England. I mean, like, he could show up anywhere in Boston, walk into anyone's house and be like, no, this is my house. And, like, no one could say otherwise, bro. Like, the guy's just elite. I mean, dude, he was just kicking ass that day, just looking as good as ever. I mean, and we put it out on our Instagram. We said Dolphins spread, Dolphins money line statistically was the easiest money on Sunday. I hit that bet. Easiest money I ever hit in my life. Again, the numbers didn't lie. At the time, Tua was 5-0 against the spread when going up against the Pats. After this game, he is 6-0, and I don't really see that streak ever ending, man.
Agreed. And Mac Jones is Tua's son. Also
Dude,
official.
Fact. Now, how do you feel about that? Again, still 2 Bama QBs, man. Is that any sort of a personal conflict to you?
Not anymore. Not maybe when it was like more recent to when I graduated back in 2015, but now it's not really at all. I mean, like, yeah, Mac Jones is just getting absolutely smoked. I feel bad for him if anything. I don't know any diehard Patriots fans, but it's gotta be tough going through that. And I imagine it's gonna be what it's like when I have to go through it when Nick Saban leaves Alabama. You're gonna just be like, what the fuck is going on with my team? Because yeah, they suck. Mac Jones sucks. The offense sucks. They're just not a good squad. I don't know how they beat the Bills. The Bills just are a fraudulent team to me. They beat the Dolphins pretty bad, but I mean, like, just so inconsistent. Josh Allen looks like a homeless man on a crack high that has like these super high highs and these super low lows, and he just can't control himself. I get it. You're an absolute stud of an athlete. You get excited. You're a Superman, which he is. But he just has to control himself. And I'm going on a tangent about another division rival, but that's what I think. I don't really have any qualms with any other Alabama quarterbacks. I hate the Eagles. So Jalen Hurts really isn't even an Alabama alumni to me anymore. He's just an Eagles player, which is brutal.
So Tua, the only true Bama QB in the league in your eyes. I think that's a safe statement.
Yes. I mean, Bryce Young's there too, but I mean, his team's just absolute garbage. So we got that over with. So he's in the rearview mirror now.
Oh man. Whew. All right. Bama in shambles in other news. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm a Gator fan, so I have no room to speak whatsoever. But talking about the Bills, that leads me into my next takeaway from this Dolphins game. And I just want to put it out there. A lot of people before this past weekend, they were saying the Dolphins were frauds because of our 2 losses against the Bills and against the Eagles. I want to point to everyone that as of this weekend, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dolphins now officially have the same record, 6-2. Now, who did the Chiefs lose to this past weekend? That's right, the Broncos. Who did the Dolphins put up a historic 70-point whomping on the Broncos? So, by transitive property, we beat the Broncos beat the Chiefs, ergo, the Dolphins are the better team. Now, of course, that question will be answered this weekend when the Dolphins play in Germany. But I think right now, our 2 losses, which were against the Bills, who are frauds, but again, they did lose against the Patriots. We beat the Patriots. And the Eagles, who lost against the Jets. Obviously, we haven't played the Jets just yet, but a lot of people were giving Miami shit because they said, "Oh, those 2 losses aren't so good. Miami is not beating the good teams." But then again, we are beating the teams that are beating the good teams. So what does that say about us? My take that we are going to get the bye in the playoff is still very much alive. I said it on our last podcast, and I'm sticking to that take. Again, I'm back on the boat that the Dolphins are as legit as ever. And again, if you are on the media bandwagon saying that the Dolphins weren't, I don't know what to tell you. Again, ball don't lie, Ballon d'Or don't lie, numbers don't lie, guys. But yeah, man, another takeaway, unfortunately, that I am sad to report is that our O-line is back to being banged up, man. I mean, we went into that New England game already, Armstead out. Our starting center, Connor Williams, was also out. Robert Hunt, the right guard, officially out after this previous game. So our O-line, it's not looking great, man. And I think that was always everyone's concern going into the Dolphins season was, can the Dolphins stay healthy? So right now our O-line has taken some hits. And I mean, shout out to Tua, Tyreek, and our offense for still putting up the numbers that they did. But I'm not getting ready to hit the panic button just yet. But I really hope that we can stay healthy for the rest of the regular season. Otherwise, my mental health will take a toll, and I will not be this happy during our podcast if we continue getting banged up. Tyreek, though, another takeaway, still incredibly elite, fastest player to reach 1,000 yards in his 8 games played to start the season. So again, I feel like there's a lot of highs and a lot of lows lately whenever we watch the Dolphins, because like on one side, there's like an injury, O-line's getting back banged up, but then on the other side, offense is putting up just unbelievable numbers. So again, it's a week-to-week thing. Dolphins officially left today, Monday the 30th, which is when we record the podcast for this week. They officially left to Germany. So next week, Chiefs, Dolphins. What are we thinking, John? If we had to guess what the line was on that game, what would you peg that as?
So I have no idea. So let me guess. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Chiefs 3.5. I'm gonna give them I'm gonna give them 3.5. Bounce back game after a loss to a shitty team. I think this is the Dolphins' first time going to Europe, if I'm not mistaken, or is that a wrong statement? But
no, they've been to Europe before. They played in London one week.
Okay. Well, what about this? So, can you imagine playing a football game on Sunday, a professional NFL football game on Sunday, and then turning around and sitting on a long Europe flight, like in all your pain and soreness? Like I know it's probably first class, but that's got to be brutal. On the flip side, can you imagine being a college kid or a high school, a college kid doing a study abroad program in Germany or something, and getting to go see like the Dolphins Chief play in Germany? That would be such an awesome weekend trip.
Dude, that is a good point. I mean, I'm sure we have some listeners in Germany. So if you're listening to this week's pod, we're happy. Danke, that's the only German that I know, which just means thanks. I wonder if no, technically by the time they get there, Oktoberfest will be over. But dude, that would be what a sight that would be! Just like holding up like your giant beer mugs, dude, and just watching Tua sling it for like 200-300 yards.
Yeah, go to a football match on Saturday, soccer, and then a football match on Sunday. Shout out to all the German and Americans in Germany right now. Prost, cheers, Prost.
Dude, shout out to them. And just to answer my other question, what the line was for the game. So you said Chiefs -3.5. Yeah, so it's Chiefs -2.5.
Nice. Okay,
that's gonna be good.
I like it.
Yeah, dude.
I'm with it. Let's go. I mean, obviously with the O-line being hurt, like you mentioned, Chris Jones is a scary man. But there's just so many ways to just still be successful, as we saw in last week's game against obviously a very capable defensive-minded coach in Bill Belichick. So the Walrus King, Andy Reid, start reading up because, I'm feeling good.
Dude, I feel like one of the things that I'm deluding myself into thinking that we might have an advantage in this game is I feel like Andy Reid's going to get there and he's probably going to go so ham on like some bratwurst, some pretzels, and I'm kind of hoping that slows him down. And the sabermetrics are indicative that I don't know when the Chiefs are traveling, but hopefully they wait till later in the week. I don't know. I mean, they probably already left today, but I'm going to pretend that they didn't. So hopefully, if they get there later, maybe they're like really jet lagged. So maybe they're not practicing as good because that is kind of what happened to the Bills when they went to London to play the Jags. Apparently, they left like that Thursday or that Friday. So when they had to gear up to play on Sunday, all of those guys, were just like sleep deprived. Whereas the Jags had already been in London for like a whole week, so they already caught up on all their sleep. They were good. So I don't know, man. It's going to be a good match nonetheless. I mean, Tyreek Hill said that he was upset that it wasn't going to be at Arrowhead. I'm sure all the fans would have loved to see Tyreek back at Arrowhead, but I mean, I think Europe deserves this one, dude. I mean, they have the metric system. We have Tyreek, so I feel like we'll let them borrow it for a week. Um,
Yes,
but
dude,
no, man.
I'm all in on your Andy Reid take. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna make that the narrative for myself this week. Andy Reid is just one of those dudes where you put him on a plane to Germany, he's gonna be like, "Hey, I gotta enjoy myself. I'm in Germany. Like, how often am I gonna be in Germany?" He's gonna like pound some pretzels, some bratwurst, like you said, some nice like big beers. He's like, I have to. I have to savor this moment. I'm in Germany. I got to do it. He just seems like that kind of guy, and so it's gonna diminish his cognitive function a little bit. You can't be having a cognitive brain when you're playing against Mike McDaniel. So I'm all in. I'm definitely hammering that spread, if nothing else.
Dude, speaking of Mike McDaniel, did you hear the story about? So apparently he bought a watch at the start of the season, which the price of it hasn't, or at least I haven't seen it been disclosed anywhere. But he bought it, and it was apparently a watch that was like well outside, his salary range, and he showed it to all of the Dolphins players, and he's like, "I bought this watch. It's really really expensive, or something along those lines," and basically was just like, either you guys or together, something along like that. We're going to make this work. And then this watch is going to be chump change for me, or it's going to be my biggest regret.
I love it. Just
Yep.
putting yourself in a hole,
Already.
back against the wall. His
Maybe,
wife's probably like, "What the fuck, dude?"
maybe that's what I'll start doing. Maybe I'll just like begin blowing money on like the dumbest bets and just put myself in like a 20 grand hole. And it was just like, no, no, no. Hey, this is either going to be the biggest regret of my life or, it's going to make me the most money.
It's all
Everyone's
or
going to be
nothing.
like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's not how that works.
Mike McDaniel taught me, and you have no
Yeah.
stake in the result. You're just hoping.
Yeah, dude. Later down the season, turns out to be just like a publicity stunt. It's just like, no, dude, I just bought like a Casio, man. It was like $60. It's just like, I don't know where people started getting. It's just like, I don't even like watches like that. Oh, the watch you see me wear on the field. No, that was a gift. Stephen Ross gave me that. I didn't buy that. What are you talking about? And then I'm just gonna look real silly. But whatever, dude. All trust in the drip god. You see the video of the baby drip god, the little kid that was
I
dressed as
did.
a
What a stud! I mean, he killed it. He did the Halloween costume that we talked about.
dude. That's
He was just missing the dolphin.
yeah, man. But it's looking good. I'm excited. I'm back to, I was trending in the it's so over, but I'm in the we're so back phase with the Dolphins. But yeah, it's going to be good. I'm really liking the Dolphins to cover the spread. Dude, so I might have to take that one. Definitely going to take the over. I think that's going to be pretty easy money for the Dolphins game. Um, yeah, dude, I am excited for it. Okay, so I think that's enough Dolphins talk as far as this past week. Looking ahead at the future, Dolphins Cowboys tickets starting to come down. John, what do we think? Are we telling the people it's time to buy, or is it time to hold a little bit more and wait for them to come down even further?
I think I'm still holding. I need to start comparing it to other games, and seeing if the prices come down. I'm gonna like really think this one out. So I think I'm gonna like compare Dolphins tickets. I'll compare Dallas tickets, and see if the big games start declining in price as it gets closer. Because I feel and I hope that's what happens. So I'm holding on, but I've also kind of come to another conclusion where I think even if I don't get a ticket, I might buy a parking pass and we just pack a car and just like have a day. Throw the pigskin around, drink, watch the games on the TV. So I'm in between those two things, I think, right now. I don't know. What about you?
Dude, honestly, you read my mind because that's going to be a good game to go to, regardless of if you attend the actual game. I mean, it's going to be around Christmas time. Everyone's going to be all jolly. It's going to be a good vibe. And I very much remember last year. I don't know if it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I think it might have been Christmas Day, but the Dolphins played the Green Bay Packers. We lost. That was obviously Aaron Rodgers' last game at Hard Rock as a Green Bay Packer. So that's the last memory I have of the Dolphins playing around Christmas time. So I think hopefully that day I'm hoping to make better memories. So regardless of if the tickets come down or not, I think it's gonna definitely be worthwhile, like you said, John. Just pack up a car, go, and that'll be fun to do. I am about it.
A dolphin dressed up as Santa Claus. That's that's a costume right there.
Dude, I was not. I mean, can dolphins survive in Arctic weather?
Arctic dolphins.
Arctic
I'm gonna
dolphins.
say no, but you put a parka on him, little Santa Claus outfit. Just
Oh,
start
dude.
swimming, bro.
Oh, dude. Now we gotta like. Now we gotta go ask ChatGPT or something to like generate an image of like a dolphin wearing a parka.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, dude. But yeah, I definitely think the price is going to go down. Maybe not after this week because the Cowboys did have a good game against the Rams. But I don't know. I feel like they're going to slip up probably like 2 games in a row. And I know you're a big Cowboys fan, but
Yes,
I got to be real.
it's inevitable. This was Dak Prescott's first good game of the season.
Yeah, dude. Like, how sad is that?
So
That's
it's sad. He's still chilling on my fantasy bench. I still like. I haven't given up complete hope. He's still there. He's still my pocket backup to Tua. But yeah, it's gonna take a lot to put him in the starter's position.
how was your fantasy team doing?
Oh man, it's not going well. It's just not going perfect. You know, it's a competitive league. I'm gonna be 3-5 after this week, I think, or 3-6, I don't know, one or the other. But I'm on like a 2-game losing streak. You know, my team. It's you know, it's like one of those seasons where you're like, my team's good. Like I have a good team, right? But you know, you just don't have the numbers line up when you need it to each week, and so it's tough, right? Like it's one of those seasons that I'm seeing already where it's like I should have taken advantage of those trades that I was thinking about doing in the beginning of the season. You're like, you have the leverage, but you're like, oh no, my team's perfect. Like, why would I trade anyone? And then it just comes back around and smacks you in the face. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. So it's not going great.
Dude, no one is more delusional than fantasy football managers before week one. Like looking at your team and you're like, yeah, I think this team like legit could go undefeated. And like every single person talks themselves into believing that. It doesn't matter who you drafted, like what the platform graded your draft. But before week one, like you have officially deluded yourself into being like, yeah, I don't know who's beating this team. Like in your mind, your QB is throwing for 600 yards every week. Your running back is running for 200 yards. Receivers are receiving for 250 every single week. Your kicker somehow is going to make a 70-yard field goal 3 times every single game. Yeah, dude. I'm going to be completely honest. I took a break from fantasy football this year. And I was wondering, I was just like, wow, why have I felt so much less stressed lately? And it's just like, oh, yeah, shit, because I'm not having to freak out about setting a line every Thursday night.
Yeah, and like doing like the waiver wire pickups like every Tuesday night, and
oh, dude,
yeah.
it's so stressful. Bro, I remember there'd be days where I'd be like on calls, you know, with like my actual day job all day. I'm there for like 3 hours back to back to back, so I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not keeping up with the news. So then someone will get injured, and then like everyone will go and like rush to pick up their backup. Like I'll literally get off these calls. I'll look to see like, oh shit, this person got injured. Look, the backup's already been picked up, and I'm just like, bro, I didn't even have a chance to look.
That's annoying. That's annoying. We do a $100 budget So everyone has a $100 budget to start the season, and then you can spend that money on free agents across the season. So, like for example, if Austin Eckler got injured, I spent 30 points on his backup Kelly, and we also do it to where all the picks go in on a Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. So like, there's no like first come first serve. You have until Wednesday morning 11 a.m. to do the pick, and then 11 a.m. every day afterwards, pretty much. Because that's so annoying. Yeah, like you're losing to people that literally just are like have the privilege of playing
not having to
fantasy
work.
football
Just
at any
all
hour.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know if I've ever told you the story, but the reason I decided to stop doing fantasy football was because last year Cooper Kupp was my number one pick in the two competitive leagues that I was in. And like week 5, I remember I stepped away. I was watching Red Zone, and I come back, and they cut into it's just like, oh, let's watch this Cooper Kupp replay, and I'm like, I'm getting excited because every single time Red Zone would cut to that, like, oh, Cooper Kupp just caught for like a 40-yard bomb or something like that. So I'm about to get excited, bro, and I see him just take that nasty hit that sidelines him for the rest of the season, dude. And I scream just bloody fucking murder, bro. Like to the point that my girlfriend comes out and she thought that like someone died or something, dude. I'm literally in the living room, like in tears, dude, just like my entire palm. And I was just like, I'm done. Like, I can't believe this.
I mean, he pretty much did die. To your
Basically.
perspective, same thing.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, not doing fantasy football this year.
R.I.P. Cooper Cup. I mean, back-to-back seasons too. Like last season, this season, it's not a good look for this young lad right now.
Dude,
Hopefully
it's
he comes
tough.
back.
And Puka Nacua has been the the talk of every single league. Sam Laporta, that guy as well. But all I can say is I think my mental health has been doing significantly better since not
Good.
doing fantasy football, man.
The best sports male therapy is not playing fantasy football. Take notes.
Yeah, but I'll probably start doing it next year because I'm just like, all right, that was a nice break, but no, I need to delude myself again and like, because man, there's at the same time, like as annoying as fantasy football might be, nothing is better than those weeks where you just like crush someone and you just have like bragging rights for like the next 7 days.
Yeah, there's nothing better than the distraction of fantasy football. It's a bad thing, but it's also an amazing thing. Like
Yeah,
it's someone there was a really good quote that someone had was like, I pay for fantasy football. It's pretty much like an exclusive group chat.
yeah,
It's like you have a group chat you can just go to any football game that's on and just start talking, and like
comment
people
and
will
like
respond. Yeah, and like
I
we only come out during the football season. Then when the football season ends, it just
no.
dissipates.
You know what? I do miss that. I do miss like just being able to go into a chat. Like, if I'm like watching Red Zone, there's like a big play. Um, I don't know. Like Tyreek, for example. I remember I had him actually in my league last year. Anytime he made a big play, I would just go in there and just be like, Reek, Reek, and everyone just started responding. That was nice, and I do miss that. So maybe I'll come back next year. But
You can
it's
even
been a
be more
nice break.
delusional and be like, since I took the season off, now I'm like more prepared mentally. I have better fortitude. You can even gaslight yourself more.
Oh, dude. I don't know, man. We'll see. But the way your record's going, it's not motivating me to want to come back. But
No,
we'll
man,
see.
it's not.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. All right, man. But yeah, I think that yeah, we talked a lot. Some takeaways from last week's game. We talked the Heat, Messi winning Ballon d'Or. So let's get into everyone's favorite segment, which is Juan's top athletes, Miami athletes of the week. Starting at number 5, this one I got to make it real serious. Jalen Ramsey, bro, just straight up, not even joking here, as advertised, absolute stud. Had a forced fumble, I think had 3 passes broken up, had an interception that he almost took back for a pick 6 coming back. The guy supposedly every medical practitioner is saying he wasn't going to come back until December, which by the way, I'm fully convinced that this is like a media thing that the NFL does where like they'll publicize being like, oh, this person's not going to come back till like, 15 months from now for them to come back in like a couple of months. But I don't know, just another random take I had. I might dive into that at some point later. Anyways, Ramsey, number 5. Number 4, I am going to give it to the Sun because they absolutely cooked or helped cook the Patriots this weekend. Mike McDaniel also in a hoodie yet again. And it's getting to the point where it's actually a little bit concerning. Like at first I thought it was like a bit, but it's just like, yo, man, like you're always bundled up regardless of the weather. But yeah, man, that's again, I'm not questioning the drip god, but shout out to the Sun. Number 3, I'm gonna give it to the Kaseya Center because it got fucking lit. I got my shirt. I got to actually make a free throw at the Kaseya Center last week. I missed.
What? That's sick.
You didn't hear about it because I missed. That's why
I saw Patty's make it.
Yeah, she made it. Dude,
yikes.
I was unbelievably salty. I was like so upset that whole day. I was just like, I can't believe she made it and I didn't.
Oh my God. R.I.P. bro. R.I.P.
But still, an absolute stellar time. Big shout out to the Kaseya Center. Number 2, I'm going to give a big shout out to the entire country of Germany for hosting the Dolphins this upcoming week. You know, they technically hosted me last year when I went to Oktoberfest. They are now hosting another set of Miami legends, you know, with the entire Dolphins roster. So they've actually been on a hot streak for 2 years in a row. You know, me being there, I had a great time. I'm sure the Dolphins will be there. They will also have a great time and hopefully have a great win. So preemptively, I am giving my number 2 spot to the entire country of Germany. Let's see. And who should receive my number 1 spot? What do you think, John? Do you think there's some notable mentions in there by any chance?
I'm just anxiously waiting. I don't know.
I am going to go, you know what? Kind of looping back to one I already mentioned. My number 1 spot of the week is the 300 sections in the Kaseya Center. I know I already gave a spot to the Kaseya Center themselves, but man, those 300 sections in the arena, very, very underrated. But any given day during a regular season game that is occurring, you can typically get any 300 sections for like $20 and below. Dude, cheapest date that you could take, you know, whether you're a bachelor taking someone on a first date or whether you're a seasoned veteran, you know, with a significant other. It never fails. 300 sections, still always fun, always super duper cheap. Doesn't have to be a crazy date. So big shout out to the 300s. They never let us down. They're a little bit high up there. You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say that the view is stellar, but I think for the price that you pay, you know, it's a nice outing. So shout out to the 300 sections.
Did you know those top 5 off the top of your head?
I don't know if I should admit that or not.
I mean, it's impressive. That's impressive. Because, like, when you asked me, I was like, I can't even think of one. I was going to say Jalen Ramsey, but that one was just an obvious one. But speaking of Jalen Ramsey, he is doing what we needed him to do. He's being a baller. He needs to be like that stud man on the defense, and that game proved it right there. Like, wow. That bait for the interception, that was elite cornerback play.
Dude, as advertised. Dude, and if I pray to God, like I don't want anything for Christmas this year. I just want the Dolphins to be healthy. Like if we just simply have our starters on defense, all of our starters on offense. So offense line, defense line, secondary, the weapons, obviously Tua, as long as they're healthy, like that's all I want. Seriously. Nobody get me anything else. If you have me on your Secret Santa list, don't get me anything. Just like send good vibes to the Dolphins for them to be healthy. That's all I need this year.
Note taken.
But yeah, man.
All right, man.
I think that about wraps it up, dude. Good show.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet today. Yeah, man. Good stuff. Well, we'll see everyone next week. Episode 6 in the books, baby.
Ciao, amigos.
Later, guys.